Welcome everyone, Kevin Carpenter back again. C++ now, as you can tell from the lime green for Aspen. Here with Anastasia, and
Oh,
okay, so it's 2 p.m. for me, which makes it really late for you in the Netherlands. Am I not right?
yeah, it is. It's 11 p.m. Nearly night, but it's a good time to do some work.
I start my mornings at like 3:30, 4 in the morning for the same thing, and my youngest is 21, so it's like I don't
uh,
even now it's just habit, right? I'm just like it's quiet. I like getting stuff done.
yeah, I'm far from that. Mine like 4 and 8, so I still have to like wake them up, get them ready for school, get them to the school, and then I can start my work day.
It's amazing how fast that time goes because my wife
It
is
is.
always like, "Yeah, can't I just make them like 4 and 8, 4 and 7 again?" Those were her favorite years. So,
Yeah, that's true.
so you're at JetBrains. I mean, if anybody doesn't know, we see you at all the conferences with JetBrains, and JetBrains makes great products. So you've been there. So you just had a milestone, right?
Yeah, it is. It's like in January, it was 10 years for me with JetBrains, really a huge milestone. It like looks to me like it joined just recently, but it's like 10 years. That's the longest time frame for working at any place for me. So yeah, it feels a little bit awkward. I mean, for some people, staying for 10 years in the company is really a milestone, but we have people like working JetBrains for 15 years more.
Yeah.
So it's not really a milestone compared to my colleague, but I still feel that, yeah, that means something probably.
I understand because prior to, my last two jobs, I've been a tenure of about 8 years. 8 years is my current where I'm at now. Um, and I love what I'm doing. I love where I'm at. But at the same time, there's people at my company that just celebrated 20 years this last month. And I'm like, wow, that's I mean, and in our environment too, where a lot of people are like, you're not going to get that increase if you don't move. But I don't know. In my mind, it's like there's a lot of other benefits that I have with where I'm at that aren't just about a pay increase. I really like what I do, and the people that I work
Yeah.
with and such, right?
I mean,
And
for me, it's just like a mat somewhere deep in heart. I mean, I really love what JetBrains does for developers. I really love the mission. I think that like JetBrains has a long path behind, and I truly believe like huge path ahead. But like
Mhm.
we've had several challenges. We literally changed how the people do the actual development. Like when we came to the market, there were no that like level of the smartness in the development tools. We started, they were like athlete, and we beat it with IntelliJ idea. And we really brought, as I think, we brought a standard to the market, like bringing these tools and setting the level for everyone. Now there are lots of tools and they're quite smart. There are like lots of fantastic competitors. That's actually good to
Mhm.
have a great competitive market, but I really think that JetBrains have updated a lot. And now we're at the next level. I guess that the next challenge for us, for everyone in the tool development, is the AI. Because right now we're moving from that nice cave where the developers should just, do this coding and we can help them with some smartness. But now we're moving to AI, which is much bigger. And our challenge here is how we adopt that developers, because like you can go to the chat
Mhm.
GPT, you can just type something there, get the answer, and move forward. But there are many other questions you have in mind, and also there is a flow. You're like developing in your ID. You don't want to to move to the. You don't want
Right.
to switch. You want everything here, and you want your ID to be smart with the AI and help you seamlessly. And you don't want to like focus on what to ask the AI, how to ask. You don't want any of this. You just want to do your job, and you want the
Mhm.
AI to help you. And I think this is a great challenge for us for the maybe like decade or whatever to build the tools that will form the market with this AI. And I'm happy to be with JetBrains because I like that's a people who are working towards this mission. They're very flexible towards this mission, so we can adopt and like until that and with them because I really think that's a great place to be. However, for me personally, it's also a huge milestone switching a little bit away from C++ officially. For those who know me, they know that I was in charge of the C++ marketing tools for almost 10 years. I now moved from the C++ tools. So C++ is still in my heart. It's my hobby. I'm a C++ developer before JetBrains. And I think that never goes away from you. That will stay with all of us. I'm also in charge of the Dutch C++ meetup, just a co-host. So if you're around Amsterdam, ping me. We'll organize the nice meetup. And also, we just launched a new event, actually, in the Netherlands, the C++ Under the Sea. You can get the joke. That's a new C++ conference. Actually, will be in Breda, in the Netherlands, in fall. And I just agreed to be the chair of the program committee for the conference. So it's still with me. I can't move away from C++, but I can move away from fantastic in C++ marketing. I'm now mostly responsible for .NET tool in terms of this dev. But again, C++ is still there. I don't think I will ever be too far from it, to be honest.
But I mean, honestly, for us in C++, I was joking with you before because it's like, I spend most of my day now in this last project writing Go. The CppNow lunch website is being written in Python, and we will see how that turns out. That
So we're now
we'll
who to
see how that
blame.
turns out. Um,
Okay.
but I mean, and then on top of that, you just had a recent release, and to the point of AI, in your new release that came out, it's not in C++ yet, but I believe it's with Pi and with Go that you have some of the AI tools, right?
So we added the fantastic thing which called the full line code completion when you have actually like the smartness of the AI completion without the actual public model of the AI service, and it's just local. And I think that's just magic. We kind of managed to deliver it for C++ for this release, but I think it will be coming like next release in summer because it's more or less ready for not really satisfactory quality. But for other languages like Java, Python, Kotlin, you can already try it in the recently released tool. And it's like magic when the whole line completed for you. And I have to say that AI sometimes it's not a magic, it's a tool now. But sometimes
Right.
it might look to you like that. So say we were recently at 3GC at San Francisco, which is the game development conference, the biggest in the
Yep.
world. And we were doing these fantastic demos with our developer advocates who were just, coding the whole game in Unity without writing a single line of code, just AI, and that's it. That's what they say when they tell you that next level will be prompt engineering, not the
Right.
actual coding. And that was it. I mean, the whole game in Unity without any single line of code. That's it. And I think
Wow.
that's our future.
Wow. That's, it's funny because as much as we can get AI to recognize patterns when it comes to code and build on code, I think of it, I'm naive in this point. Like I don't study AI, but when I think of the way that it recognizes patterns, it's to my part, there's still that thing when I do use Chat GPT, it can get me, as Bryce would say in some of his talks, 60% of the way there right now on the first part, but then you're still iterating over it. And I still think that design part of what we really want as humans is going to be, as you said, the prompt engineering, where you're still working with the AI. It's like it can get you that line of code, but putting the 20 lines together is still, maybe that part where humans aren't being quite replaced yet.
Yeah, but exactly that's a great opportunity for tools. And actually, I mean, because the tools, they know more and they keep all the context you have and they
Right.
can actually pass it to the AI. So they can like polish your request for you instead of you doing that. And that's a
Yeah.
great deal. You've been managed to deliver that in a very nice and smooth way. Right, fine. And I like Copilot for GitHub is also fine. The AI assistant
Mhm.
in JetBrains tools is also on the same mission. I mean, we're all together trying to deliver this experience when you don't have to think a lot about it. So you still
Right.
can rely on the decent tools. And that's like coming to, C++ now and the keynotes I'm going to make there. It's all about the
Yes.
tools, right? So the
Yep.
tools are really the key here. So, and that they can help. They can save us from anything.
So to that part, opening keynote, congratulations. I
Thank
say that from two
you.
parts because it's like, the opening keynote means you get to enjoy the rest of the conference once you've stressed about that first
Yeah,
moment.
that's true. I think I will be super stressed. I mean, I've never dreamed about the honor like that. Doing a
Mhm.
telecommunication now is already a huge honor. When I
Right.
was first like accepted to the program, it was like, yeah, my favorite conference really accepted me. It was hard to believe. When I was like invited to the keynote, I was like, what? I have to think about it for a moment, celebrate, and then say yes. for sure. That's really a huge thing. And I'm super happy to do the opening keynote. And I'm super happy it's about the tools because I mean,
Mhm.
like, that's something I feel I know about.
Right.
It's something
Oh
I
yeah.
feel I'm very passionate about. And I think that the keynote and the passionate speaker is whatever you need there. So yeah, I'll do my best. And I think that in C++, we actually move through the huge path uh, and to start with the tools, trying to understand how C++ is toolable and if it at all toolable.
Mhm.
Explaining this all to the, like language community, to the people who are responsible for developing the language features. Explain them first that toolability is important, then which issues do the tools have, how they can solve it with the language, how they can actually think ahead when they're designing the feature about the tools. And I actually literally saw all this progress happening through the recent like 10 years in C++. And I'm super happy
Yeah.
that I saw it. And hopefully I kind of affected it a little bit. I remember when I started talking about the C++ toolability at CppCon, I don't remember the year. It was like, 2017, something like that.
Yes.
And it was one of the first talk I did about like how toolable is C++. And I remember this very awkward moment. I was in this big room at CppCon trying to explain to the people that C++ is really hard for tools, trying to explain our point of view on the language, like how we see the
Mhm.
language, which issues we have. And I saw many faces like, wow. And then at some point of time, Bjarne actually entered the room, sat at the back row and started listening to, and I was like, that's the awkward moment. Now I have to
Yes.
explain to him. It's important. I mean, he stayed till the very end, which makes a good
Yes.
comment to me. Probably he was interested. Hopefully he enjoyed that. But yeah, I saw the progress since that. I mean, like the toolability group in the language community, all the efforts, all the vendors, all the tools who actually doing the effort to make language more toolable. And I see how it improves every year. And this is very important to me because I couldn't bring more about this, like the language are really enough and the tools we have for it to the best way.
Yeah, I was going to say I love the name of your talk, C++ Painkillers, because between dependencies and CI/CD, and
Yeah.
the item you have in the description, building with CMake, and then I remember using just make, with configure scripts in
Oh,
Linux,
I
and
did that
so
too. I did that too.
yes, but I mean, so all
Yeah.
that experience for all those years working in it comes through, and so I think for anyone who wants to learn more about tooling, they need to come see this talk and see it live because then they can capture, content with you afterwards and chat with you about it, right?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about like bringing several great stories from my experience to the keynote because keynote is actually not just about sharing the knowledge,
Right.
it's about sharing the stories and hopefully driving people and inspiring people. And I think that's the most important mission that I would like to take for my company, inspire people to think more about the tools to develop better tools. And I was recently just thinking about what I could share at the keynote. I remember one very nice story. I will just share one of it for everyone so that you understand what you can expect from the talk. So it actually is about CMake and it's about my experience before JetBrains. I was working as a C++ developer. We were doing a huge project and we actually ported it from make files to CMake. That was a huge work. And the project was really big and the build times were like enormous. You wait for build for an
Yep.
hour. That the CMake on this project, it really took long to run. And it was complex. It was like build and server and client components. And you often could have issues with the different libraries and dependencies. And to understand that you have issues with the dependencies, usually the developers of the project, they tried just to build it, but it literally took time. So you kind of press the build, go and
Yep.
grab your key, and then come back and see what goes wrong. The dependencies goes wrong, everything like is wrong, and you're just like, hey, let's do another iteration. And then my team lead actually came and said to me, I did a very smart thing. Like I built our project for to open in NetBeans. That was like at that time
Yep.
like the different IDs for C++. There were no C line at that time. So like he brought me the project for NetBeans, the project files, and then he told me like, and if you want to check the dependencies, you simply try and open the configuration you have in NetBeans, it will do the simple checks with the CMake, not generating all the files, not doing all the proper build. So if it doesn't open in NetBeans, that means you don't have the proper dependencies for the whole project. And it took like last minute. So I just realized at that point
Wow.
of time, that's what you can do with the tools, you
Yeah.
know? So it's just cheating a little bit, but like just trying to open the project you want to work with, the part of the component you want to continue just coding in minutes, you know already if you have all the dependencies configured properly. And that was like, oh, that feels great to me. I want more of that.
Yeah.
And that's what I want us to have in C++. So because we have the topic is called indeed C++ Painkillers, and that came out of the fact that if you take a look at the C++ Foundation survey randomly,
Yep.
every time the foundation asks like what actually are the pain points for the C++ developers, and every time the top of the list is just the same, and it's all about the tool. All the typical language issues about the typeface and whatever start below. So, but the first like 5 or even 7 points are mostly about the tools, about the practical models, about figuring the tools, about figuring the CI/CD pipeline, and they're still on top. That means a lot to me. That means that we have a very powerful language, but even the major issues that we might have, because if you ask any developer, he might say, oh, yeah, like the Zambia or knowledge is the issue.
Mhm.
It's not if you ask the actual developers doing the production code in
Right.
C++, they're caring about different things. So the painkillers, to me, actually tools which could address these issues. And I want to explore how the landscape changed, what we have now, what we can hope more in the future. And I've seen actually the program, and I've seen that there will be more talk in this idea. And I think that's great.
Yep.
So I will start with some inspiration, hopefully, and then more people much smarter than I, they will continue this idea, and then they will just share how they see the language and the tooling could evolve together and what we'll get in the next decade.
That's very cool. And yeah, so C++ now, they are definitely focused on tooling this year. And so you want to show up on April 28th, that's the Sunday. The airport is open all week, which I keep joking about in all my interviews because, normally you had to take a boost bus back. So, but the conference is technically April 29th through the 3rd. And so we are less than 3 weeks out, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And
Oh,
so,
yeah, waiting for it.
yes. And so I appreciate your time, and I will let you get
Thank
back
you.
to
Thank
the
you,
rest of
Kevin.
the evening.
Thank you,
I'll see you in
Kevin.
Aspen. Have a great night.
Yeah, see you.
Bye bye.